Join us and our crew on our adventures as we explore the amazing world around us. Welcome to our boat and home sea venture. We hope your time with us is both entertaining and inspiring.
We've left Sitka and moving back toward Peril Strait for a few days of fishing. Looks like a couple days of stormy weather that we'll find somewhere to hide from. Blake's in position.
So is Barkley.
Oh, where's Barkley?
Here, I'll show you.
Okay. The view out the front. Laying in my foul weather gear because they just love the plastic.
Yes, you like it, don't you? Yeah.
Like you just want someone to play with him.
We were just playing. We were just playing.
Don't look at me. Let's look out the view at the front of the boat. Just beautiful Sitka, surrounded by dozens, if not 100 little islets and islands. We are only a mile from the open Pacific, kind of going along behind these islands as we head back between Baranof and Chittagong Islands, headed generally eastbound to the inside of Southeast Alaska. Continuing our generally eastbound travels toward the inside and Peril Strait. Really right now we're going north, but we will turn east. In nice calm channel, a little breezy, a little rainy, like always, it seems like all summer.
Northbound fishing vessel, Whitestone Narrows. This is not to worry, southbound, channel 16. Yeah, you want to go up one? Up one.
We had originally thought of and probably would have gone outside Chittagong Island northbound, but the weather has been very unsettled, and so the next 7 or so days looks like a series of low pressure sweeping through, winds in the 25 to 35, 40 knot range off the west coast of Chittagong Island, and seas running from 5 feet at times to as much as 20 feet. So not doing that, so we're just scooting along on the inside. Maybe we'll find some salmon and halibut fishing to occupy us over the next few days.
Right, we're going through a Whitestone Narrows, and we have 5 channel markers. And we have a range markers. We need to get them lined up. So those guys are on shore. And then we'll know we're in position to go through the Narrows at the proper angle. Whitestone Narrows, marker number 1. We're at low tide, so we're seeing all the hazards, or at least many of the hazards. Got another channel marker on the shore there, and then a couple more here, and then again we talked about the range markers, and those are all lined up. So now we're in a good position to continue on until we get to the next red marker, where we want to turn to port right before the red marker. So we just continue on this course.
If you're a subscriber, thank you. If not, we'd be honored, and it really helps us a lot if you would subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know when we have a new video. And of course, for everybody, if you like the video, please hit the like button. Thanks.
This is how this one likes to spend his time, chasing after this little guy, right? What's that? We're doing some fishing in Salisbury Sound, just north of Sitka. And hopefully that means we're going to have good weather, that light sky that direction. But over here, as we troll slowly along the shoreline, I wanted to show you this beautiful, kind of idyllic little waterfall I never would have seen if we weren't trolling here. Seriously dark cloud just came in, has foiled our fishing plans. Look at this. Ugh. June is closing things up because we're getting everything soaked back here. And this is what's coming down from the sky. Crazy. This is crazy. All right. Do you want to pull the other line in, or?
No, leave it.
All right.
Not going anywhere. Right.
No, we are not. 30 minutes later, the squall seems to have passed. We've moved over to an adjacent bay, Fish Bay, that does not have the swells that Salisbury Sound had. And we're going to try fishing again. This is where we were in Salisbury Sound, which was open to the swell from the Pacific. So we've gone around the corner and we're going to go check out this Fish Bay and see how we do there. And Barkley is going to help us. Right, Betty? Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's go catch fish. Yeah.
Sergius Narrows. Eastbound.
Eastbound. Currents with us.
Doesn't look like too much, actually.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks good.
So,
This is totally benign.
this is. But the rain is not. It has made everything all wet.
Half an inch today.
It's a lot of rain. This is the head of Deep Bay in Peril Strait, where we anchored last night. And it was rainy and not really pretty when we came in, weather-wise. But the bay is quite beautiful. Much like Fool's Inlet, Deep Bay has a large delta, so you can't take your boat too far back into the bay because it's all tideland. Barkley. It's a foggy morning this morning, and we're pulling up the anchor in Deep Bay and working our way toward Hoonah Sound to go do some fishing. But first, we have to go get our crab pots. We're cheating. We're pulling up crab pots with the windlass because we can.
We're in neutral, right?
Yeah, we're in Deep Bay. We just pulled our pot up that we dropped in the middle of the bay. And check this out.
Looks like 3 big male Dungeness and
Wow.
3 Alaskan king crab.
Oh, check out this little guy. He's a different looking one.
Okay.
All right. Go swimming away. Down you go. There's your brother, the big brother. God, I feel like I'm gonna run breath. Stay in reverse for a couple minutes. Oh, let me get my camera, or your camera's right here. The second pot had another one of these guys.
King crab.
Very cool.
Non-residents of Alaska cannot keep king crab. Only Alaskan residents can keep king crab.
So off they go. Here's a little islet we're going by as we go through this small little channel and work our way through back to Carroll Strait. We're approaching Douglas Bay right here, which may be our anchorage for tonight. We're gonna go check it out and see what we think. That's it out the window. It was a little windy at the head of the bay, so we took a break and decided to go to the back and see how things are, and we have changed up the configuration here just a little bit. But everyone seems content at the moment, and we'll go see how this anchorage looks.
Cruising in Hoonah Sound today. We've got some wind coming up this evening. It's Thursday. We've got more wind, maybe potentially some significant wind Sunday. We're not so sure about that yet. The forecast models are still a little conflicted. But we checked out this Douglas anchorage up in here and decided it was a bit close to the prevailing wind that would allow it in there, and it just didn't. We decided against it. Just decided we didn't. It wasn't right. If the wind curled around the corner and pushed in there, it would be pushing us back into the bay. So we decided to turn around, and we're going to go ahead and head back where we were last night. We got some good crabs, and so it's a couple-hour cruise back, but that's okay. And I think we'll hang out in that area for a few days. In the meantime, we continue to kind of tolerate rain and battle wind. Right now, 20 knots of wind on the bow. So we're gonna have to turn beam 2, where I think the wind will also pick up at the same time. So we may even put the paravanes in the water a little bit. And you can see the 3 new windshield wipers, pantograph wipers, working away right now. A couple of people have picked up in comments and noticed that we changed the wipers. Right here's where the old one was. We had a single radial arm one in the middle window that went like this and was just about worthless, and I got tired of it. So now we got 3 dual speed, independently controlled, self-parking pantograph I think it's called, wipers. I call them school bus wipers, but they work great. So really happy that we can see out of more than just the middle window when it's raining.
It looks a little bit lumpy crossing Hoonah Sound.
But no paravanes in the water because we only have 15 minutes to be in a protected channel.
This is when flipping a switch would be really cool.
Yeah.
Oh well. That's kind of the way it goes. Ooh.
Rolling 5 degrees to port, 12 degrees to starboard, back and forth.
Barkley's, well, dealing with it. And Blake, yeah, tolerating it. Captain Jim, all good.
Oh, I'm fine. Maybe 15 more minutes.
Woohoo! Here we are.
Sitting here with my coffee.
We just got to get from here to there. That's our 15-minute predictor line.
You may point out, yeah, the green dotted line is the boat's course over the next 15 minutes.
We're almost there. Not 10 minutes away, and this wind is just howling. We saw 30 knots a moment ago.
Staying in Deep Bay, we moved up toward the entrance to the bay behind some couple islets for an entirely different view and probably a little better wind protection. Re-anchored, picked up the crab pots on the way. Trying to give you a little view. Sorry if there's some water on the lens. It is pouring down rain and has been all day. I think we're like at 3/4 of an inch and it's not even lunchtime yet. But great little spot tucked back in here. I like it.
All right, Jim's getting ready to brave the elements again.
Gotta go clean crab. But we get to do it on a beautiful new swim step at the fish cleaning station. There's one.
Wow. They're noisy. Are they going places?
Yeah, well, they're very fresh.
Yeah.
There's the second one, and there's a third one about the same size.
Cool. Have fun.
Yep. He loves the crab.
Crab dinner for Barkley.
His favorite. He's at the table before any of us when we start cooking the crab.
Watching every move you make. We're in the tender. It feels like it's been forever since we've been in the tender after our time in Sitka, and then it's just been super rainy, so we haven't had a chance to get out. It was pouring earlier today. I think it rained over 3/4 of an inch, and now the sun has come out. It's about 5 or 6 o'clock, and we thought we'd take advantage of it. And we are at the head, at the mouth or head or entrance of Deep Bay, and we thought we'd just take a look around. From the tender looking out at Peril Strait, and we're going around this grass top island. We've noticed that visibility is pretty good. It's really quite pretty here, particularly this entrance area with all the islets. Oh, and wait, the sun is out. That's what makes it so darn pretty too. Sea Venture in Deep Bay. This is a pretty cool bay because it goes forever, and it's like 65 feet deep the entire distance of the bay. So you can anchor pretty much anywhere, and evidently crabbing is a big deal because we are doing really well here. Wow, look at these guys. They're spiny little pieces of work. Bye-bye. Now you get to come out. Gosh, they're just big and lanky. And here's a couple. That's not bad though. Oh, she's a big one.
Yeah. All right, check the crab pots and came up with 2 more big guys.
They are awesome.
Yep. Sorry. We're gonna get clean now.
Oops, I should. Bye, crabbies.
First, it's very alive and it's very annoyed with me, and I can't get a hold of it the way I want to. Come on, Claw.
He's protecting himself.
Yeah, he is. But it's not going to work. It's a big guy. Yeah, I tear them apart live.
Better than cooking them live.
Get cooking their guts. I don't understand that. I'm not thinking that adds flavor. So I clean them. Cook halves. After being in Deep Bay, then to Hoonah Sound, then back to Deep Bay, it was time to head back to Hoonah Sound. Well, welcome to this week's Q&A, and today we have several questions. Maybe not so surprising, a couple regarding last week's humpback whale feeding video that we were able to capture and share with you. Carl asked, what is your primary go-to camera and what other equipment do you film with? Well, this stems from the whale videos, right? And from last week, from those bubble feeding whales and the whales as they swam by Sea Venture. And our primary camera, not the one I'm filming this with so I can show you, is the Sony 4K Handycam with an external microphone. This camera has been fantastic. It's internally stabilized, has a great zoom on it. And I don't get credit for having chosen this particular camera. This is the go-to camera for SV Delos, if you've watched them. And so Brian Trotman on his channel gave us this idea of this camera. So we used the link from his channel to buy it. And I will include a link in our channel now for the same camera for you. I'll work on a list of all the stuff, but some other stuff. We've got, of course, the GoPros, 2 GoPros, one with a fuzzy mic. We've got Canon, standard, the EOS 60D camera that we use for stills. We've got a couple of gimbals, which we've just recently added. So still working on learning how to use the gimbals to try to create a steadier footage. Of course, we've got the Mavic Pro drone that you use. And then something that's newer that you haven't even got to see in a video yet, because I'm still working on exactly the use of it, is this guy. This is night vision binoculars that are stabilized and have a built-in 4K camera. So I'm looking forward to playing with that guy. And that's just really part of it, but that's kind of the main components. But our go-to camera, and the one that we filmed the whales with that you saw last week, was the Sony Handycam 4K. All right, the next question, also regarding the whales, is Steve asked, how deep was the water where the humpback whales were bubble feeding? And the answer was, up there at the head of Bradfield Canal, it was between 400 and 450 feet. And so as a result, when they went down to bubble feed, it was as long as 10 minutes before they came up. We have watched whales bubble feeding in much shallower water, and I'll answer that question in the next question, actually, because it relates to it. So several people have asked regarding those whale videos from last week if we've seen other whales that close before, and the answer is yes. And I'll show you a couple clips here real quick, but in Ketchikan in 2018, we were right outside the marina and some humpback whales came by the boat, and that was literally 100 feet off the dock in downtown Ketchikan. And I'll show you that video here in a moment. We had some bubble feeding whales earlier this year outside Fool's Inlet. And we had a humpback whale in 2018, about 10 miles out of Juneau, breached so close to the boat that that it rocked the boat. It was about 50 feet away when it came completely out of the water, and frankly it was too close, and I'll show you that video as well here. So let's look at those clips, and then I'll be right back with you.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. We're neutral. That way.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed those clips from some prior videos. I'll put some links to those videos if you're interested in seeing more whale photography. And you know, don't give us credit for either last week's whale photos or other whale photos. We just happened to be there. We've been boating up here for a really long time, many more years than YouTube has ever existed. And, you know, so we've just been in the right place at the right time at times. But the credit really goes for the whales because they cooperate. They swim by the boat. If you come up here and you cruise on your own boat, you'll see these whales all the time, actually. So I hope you enjoyed this week's video. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments on YouTube or email me at cruisingseaventure@gmail.com. I'll respond as quickly as I can. And otherwise, we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Wishing you no wind and flat seas. Bye.